All right. I guess we're just going live this way. I forgot to put the intro in. Oh boy, going back to the old shit show days, I guess, huh? Man, I didn't even have the live all set up. You got a really bad connection where you're at. You're going in and out.
So where I'm at,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm up here. I got 3 bars. I'm up here in Spartanburg at a little
Okay.
Circle K, Spartanburg, South Carolina,
Yeah.
at a little Circle K.
Hey, let me read these few comments that we got up. Army Kane says Leroy Jenkins. I'm not so sure what that means, but we'll go with that. Justin Berger says hello. Hey, Justin. Good to have you in tonight. Country Channel's back. Yeah, his channel is back. Nathan says it's crazy that he got hacked. It's a good thing he got his main channel back. Yeah, that's all of our fears, honestly, when shit like that happens, is that we don't lose our channel, especially when you work hard to get to where you're at with the subscribers and stuff. Um, yeah. So what's going on tonight, guys? Anything good? What about you, Jonah? What's going on with you, bud? Anything?
Nothing. Just got went and delivered a Walmart load down here in Walford, South Carolina. Then I'm parked for the night,
Yeah.
and till they send me something else. I was thinking they were gonna send me something I got unloaded, but they ain't sent me nothing yet. And then it's the weekend, so if they don't send me nothing in the morning, I'm probably just going on to the house. I supposed to be planning on being home next weekend, but
Yeah.
if they ain't
How
got me
far?
nothing by
How far does it? How far do you have to go to get home?
about an hour and a half,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
about 100. I'm about 106 miles. It probably take about an hour and a half to get home from here where I'm at.
I got you. What's up, G80 Sean? How's things going, buddy? Newman, I'm not going to read that. Good evening. Loaded in Des Moines, heading back to New York. Good to have you in here, Flying Patty. It's been a couple weeks since I've
Ooh.
seen you in, but I'm glad to have you in. How's things going for you, Patty? Everything going great at Schneider? G80 Sean says, hey, Rabbit, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to be ending this week 6,000 gross. I just been booking short hops, and that all added up. Yeah, they always told me to try that out, but I never did. I don't know. I don't really care for the short hops. I like doing 500 to 700 mile loads. Day and a half loads is what I like. But they always told me to try the 200 and 300 miles and do it that way, but I never did. So Trucker Q, what's up, Trucker Q? First time I've seen you in. Glad to have you in. Flying Patty, been busy and the rates are creeping up off the bottom. Okay, so the rates are getting better. Is that what you're saying? I've got a couple guys
Yeah, that would sound like.
on the spot market that's saying the rates seem like they're going up, but guys, don't get confident with the rates going up. I mean, I think it's just a summer thing. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not trying to be negative. I'm hoping that they stay up for you guys. Speaking of which, Sean, it looks like you're doing pretty good over there. $6,000 gross. I don't think I ever grossed 6K over it there. That's that's pretty good. Mike, Florida, checked out old vids. What happened to Poppy? Poppy is at F2F. He's doing his thing over there. He's running spot market over there on the select board. Um, Other than that, Poppy's just being Poppy. He'll run pretty much Monday through Friday, get home by Saturday and Sunday, and then come right back out and do it all over again. Uh, Nathan, I contacted Michelle, the Swift owner op recruiter, and have decided to apply to bring my truck on load board so I can get going. That's awesome, Nathan. I hope you used my name if you did. That's awesome, Nathan. I appreciate it. And JD Sean, also, I didn't feel as much because my deadhead miles were under 60 miles each. That's you know what? That's awesome that you didn't do a whole lot of deadhead. So I'm assuming you're making money, huh, Mike? I hope so. I hope see, that's the thing. I hope everybody makes money. That's the key. What about you? How are you doing
Yeah.
over there at Hirschbach, buddy?
So far so good. I've been having some pretty good weeks since I've been here. I hadn't been in the negative or nothing since I've been here. I've been here since the beginning of March, and
Right.
so far they've been running. I've been hitting averaging like 25 to 3,000 miles a week. On the average, about 25 a week. So, cause most of my stuff be live unload and live load, and every now and then like, they might throw a dropping hook in the mix for me or whatever. But most of all my stuff be live load and live unload, and I
Right.
still do 25 to read about 25 to 3,000 miles a
How
week.
much time are you sitting in the doors?
Uh, it some of the places vary getting loaded, but most time it's 2 or 3 hours. Like if I go to Walmart, that's already gonna be 2 hours or so, at least 2 hours or better at a Walmart. And it's been roughly with a Walmart, probably about three hours or so, right around like 3 hours or so.
Gotcha.
And some places I go to, they'll load me quick. I might be there an hour at the most, and hour, 2 hours at the most, and getting loaded. And then
Hey, Austin.
unloading this, it varies. Some places, and then some stops I go to, I might have two drops on it, and I might be there 45 minutes or something like that.
Right. What's going on, Austin? Catching alive finally, huh? I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Give me a ring tomorrow. It's been a while. So Mike Florida says, no money, looking for a place to work. Hey, Mike, look, don't look any further. Come to Swift, buddy. I don't know if you've caught my last video, but I'm not going to be putting out any more videos with money on them or anything. But you're welcome to give me a call. I'll be more than happy to send you some screenshots, show you what I've done. It's pretty easy over here, and they pay for everything. Fine, Patty.
Oh
They are
yeah,
slowly but
yeah.
surely.
So we're good about that.
Yeah, I was reading on FreightWays that freight tender rejections are up on contract freight. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. Nathan says, I did tell her that I watch your channel, so she should get the referral. I should get the referral. I appreciate it, Nathan. I'll be in contact with her. She's got. She was going to come on the show last night, but unfortunately, I got stuck in a dock door for about 7 hours, which rarely happens. I just end up doing a 10-hour break and rode on out of there after that. Um, it kind of sucked the way it did, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. But we had to cancel the show. But she's coming on Monday night. I'm gonna post a comment out here on the post board here about it. But guys, check out Monday night's 7 o'clock. She'll be on there. John Huntley says, "Hey Rabbit, been too long. How you been?" John, it's been great, man. I'm doing pretty good over here. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually in a I don't want to call it my happy place because my happy place is at home, but my next to second best happy place is here at Swift. It's so easy over here, guys. I mean, the money's here. You just got to be smart on how you run and how you fuel. Jonah can attest to that. Um, I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's the load board actually is getting better. I know the load board was kind of shitty when you were here, but I've actually taken
Uh,
about 5 or 6 load board loads in the last 2 weeks, and I'm not doing too bad with them. Very little deadhead too. G80
uh,
Sean says, I asked about switching companies. I have to pay 5,000 to switch. Five, which company are you trying to switch to, Sean? John says, I agree with your last vid. I'd stay with the truck you have. Yeah, so I've kind of come to the conclusion what I'm going to end up doing. I'm keeping the truck that I have. I'm going to put new tires on it. I got a few little minor things that need to be done to this truck to make it 100% right. I just want to go ahead and put new shocks on it, airbags. I want to put new brakes. Like I said, tires. Once I get all the usual stuff down, then I'll know what's been done to this truck. I'm probably going to run it 6 months to a year, and then sometime I don't know, sometime beginning of next year, I've already got my international guy. I told him what I want. I want to get an old Pascal truck lines, the PTL trucks, and I want to get the blue that they have. And the reason I want one of their internationals because they already have the EPUs on them. That's the right color that I like, the blue. Um, and possibly somewhere in 23 and 24 they switch to that S13 motor. And honestly, I'd love to get one with the S13 motor next time around. So that's my goal, is to go ahead and try to pay this truck off within the next 6 months to a year, and then look at possibly getting something else. My wife was talking to me earlier today, and she kind of talked me out of training. So I don't think I'm going back into training. She makes a lot of good sense. Um, she's right 99.9% of the time, and I don't think that I was just going to do it as a temporary thing to begin with, but I just um, I just don't want to go back into training again. Mike Florida, you don't show numbers on YouTube. I don't actually show them. I go over them, but I'd be more than happy to send screenshots if you want to contact me. My number is always in all the videos. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. Anybody on here can attest that I call them back. Um, I'd be more than happy to send you screenshots of what I've done so far in the last 4 weeks I've been here. Cash, here he goes again. Where am I going again? Exactly. I'm still at Swift. Carry me, please. What's up, guys? Hey, buddy, how are you? 5,000 to switch over to Mercer. I'm not switching yet. I just wanted to get the ballpark and see. How much money did you put down on your truck? Because that's the deposit. When I switched mine, it was only a $500 switch fee, but I had the deposit down though too. Brian Jess says, well, did my couple days at home after the Fort Pierce delivery, picked one up going to Pennsylvania for early Monday delivery, then got one going back to Orlando. Well, that sounds like a good deal. Flying Patty says, I thought they were right all the time. They think, yeah, buddy, mine thinks so too, but she is though. That's the problem. She's right almost all the time. So you put $1,500 down. Well, I put 15 down, and then what they did is they financed the other 15 to where I got up to the 3, and it was $100 a week until it got there. So basically, after 15 weeks, I was paid up on the deposit. Well, cash, I'm waiting for you to answer me, buddy. What am I doing now? What am I doing wrong that just affects your life so much? People always want to contact or put things in here. Here he is. Let's see what he says. Miss your friend from Landstar. Think it's 18. Yeah, life on 18 wheels. He's still around. Um, he's going to do a show Sunday. He's going to do a show Sunday. 18 wheel still around.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do a show last Sunday, but I guess he didn't do a show last Sunday or
He
whatever.
hadn't done one in 2 weeks. Newman says, Sean, your deposit is tied to your credit and the company you chose. That's correct. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do a show. I didn't contact him to ask him, but he maybe he'll do one this Sunday. I tried doing these lives on days that I know other people aren't going live. If I would have known he wasn't going to do a live last Sunday, I probably would have did one. But it is what it is. I don't want to get in a big habit of doing shows, because when I talked to Michelle earlier today, she wanted to do the show on Tuesday, and I said, well, I don't really want to go against Charlie and Jeff. That was my big thing, Contractor's Corner. I said, let's do it Monday. I don't like, it's not that I don't, I mean, I would go up against somebody, no problem. It wouldn't affect me whether I got viewers or not, but I don't want to take anything away from the other guys either, though.
Yeah. You say you have on the show Monday?
Yeah, Monday at 7 o'clock. Newman, can you help me explain it more, please? Because I'm still new to all this. So basically, I think everybody has to put down a $3,000 deposit. That's the deal. And it depends on what company you're going to. I'm surprised that the deposit's so much going over to Mercer, though. Mercer's one of those companies they work well with. But Newman, feel free to explain it if you want to. Wow, believe it or not, we got 23 people in here. Not too shabby. Anybody have any
Yeah, I talked to
things
Michelle
happen
like
this week?
about a week ago.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what's she
yeah, I talked
say?
to Michelle like about a week ago, and shoot, I told her I was gonna come back, but she told me I had to wait to December. I had to wait to December to come back because of the little safety issue thing I had with them or whatever. And
Gotcha.
they got on their eligible rehire in December or whatever. Come on, fleet manager called me. He my old fleet manager called me. He was like, he's like, you want to come back? I was like, yeah, I was thinking about it. And then he was like, well, call Michelle and talk to her and see what the deal is and call me back. So I called him back and told him Michelle said I think he already had talked to her because he said yeah, he was in the office then talking to her, and he was like, well, I tried him and the safety guy and Greer tried like talking to the dude wherever he was in Kansas or somewhere, but I guess you couldn't get through to him or whatever.
Gotcha. But who was your OOC? Was it Chris Shell too?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get in contact with Chris next week. So Newman says negative, James. My deposit was lower, but I have solid credit. When I got my SFI truck, my credit was pretty solid too, but my deposit was still $3,000. Um, we've talked about this many times on here. Um, I think they come up with whatever dollar amount they want to. Again, they're in sales. It's like car sales. You might go to one place, they might say you need 3,000 down. You might go to the next place, say 500 will get you in. It just depends on what they have to sell that week. Um, I think you just got lucky, and your deposit was a lot lower because they needed to sell a truck. When I came in, they didn't have to sell the truck to me. I had really good credit at the time when I first started that. That was before I bought a house and before I bought a truck, so my credit was in pretty decent shape. So he says, I learned recently that they reevaluate their numbers monthly. Yeah, they change their stuff all the time, dude. There really isn't a rhyme or reason on how they do it. And it's funny because you could call and then I could call and another person could call, and all three of us are going to have different deposit amounts there. It's just the way it is. Technically speaking, my payment itself is $820. So with an MMA, it's 1,100. Yeah, that's about right. I think mine was 1127, and with MMA, I was right at 1,300. Man, I'm in some. There's some rain going on right now where I'm at. Is it raining where you're at?
Mm-hmm. Uh,
No, it's hot. Is it
nope.
hot?
Not where I'm at. It's been sunny all day. It's been sunny
Huh.
and hot all day. Where I'm at.
Well, Newman says, "Yeah, I nailed it." Yeah, again, buddy, it's just they do whatever's right at that particular moment. I mean, whatever way the wind blows. Justin Burgers, are you are you Walmart job? I don't know what that is, Justin. Does that mean you ask me if I'm dedicated Walmart? No, I'm not dedicated Walmart. I don't think you are either, Joan. Are you?
No, I
Yeah.
just we just do a lot of Walmarts. We do a lot of Smithfields and Tyson, and we deliver to like Walmarts and cold storages. That's I mean, and then like little places. I've been to like a couple of direct little meat places or whatever, but mostly Walmarts and cold storages. I've been going to
All right, so G80 Sean's
over
got a
here.
good
I
question
mean,
here. Can you get your truck fixed anywhere? Because I called Truck Country earlier to change my mud flaps. They said I would have to contact. So basically, what you got to do, G80 Sean, is you contact the SF5 maintenance number. Do it Monday through Friday. Don't do it after like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or anything like that. Do it Monday through Friday, regular business hours. Contact SFI maintenance. If you need that number, wait a minute, I'll find it. I'll put it up here for you, and you can just write it down. You contact them, tell them what you want to do and where you want to go get it done at, and they will post it up for you and get it all taken care of. Now, with that being said, I don't know if truck country is one of those places where you can go to or not go to. I don't know. But I know you can take it to any Loves or any of the usual truck stops and have anything done. There you go. There's SFI Maintenance's number. You give them a call. Like I said, do it Monday through Friday, because if you do it on a weekend or you do it after hours, they're going to charge you like a 15 or 20% surcharge to go with it. And I'll put the number up there bigger for you. They're going to do a surcharge, and it's going to cost you more. And they don't know half the shit like the people during Monday through Friday do. You're much better off talking to those people. No problem, Sean. That'll help you out. I don't know why I still had that number in the phone, but I did. I got to tell you, Jonah, I know you were, when you were over here about the load board and said you were sitting. I haven't sat still the whole time that I've been over here, dude. Not once. Now, granted, I've done a lot of self-generated stuff where I've picked stuff up off the load board. Like I'm booked all the way until Monday, 7 a.m. And I've been that way since Wednesday. Just off load board shit.
Oh man, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Cause every time I was over there, it was like hit and miss.
I don't really go out of the realm of my areas either. I don't go west of Texas. I really don't go west of Chicago. I kind of take that arrow down. Chicago down to Texas, and I'll go to Pennsylvania, but I won't go north of Pennsylvania and any other states up there. And I will go to Florida like most people. There was a load that went from Hialeah, Florida, which is down by Miami, all the way to California. That was on the board the other day. 2,900 miles, something like that. If I was at home, I would have taken that load, and I think it picked up today. I would have taken that load in a heartbeat, all the way to California. What's going on, the Bull of the Woods? How are you today, buddy? Glad you're in here.
They still got that $75 thing or something like that. We go to California or something like that.
They still
got that. If you go out like the west or something, that $75 thing you got to pay to go into California or whatever. Yeah. They still got that. It's like $75 or $50 or something like that. You still got to pay to go to California.
Yeah, that's every company. Any company you go to is going to do that. That's California doing that. They're making their money.
Oh, okay.
Schneider had it too. You know, all the companies have it. I would have just taken that load for the miles. I mean, shit, 2,900 miles. That would have, you know, I could have did that in about, I think it was like 4 days, 4.5 days. I could have. I think it was Friday to. I think it was Friday to Wednesday morning delivery, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I could have easily done that, and maybe even got a 34 out of it too. So Mike Florida says, must have missed it. Who does the other guy drive for? Jonah drives for. You didn't put your name up here either. Jonah drives for Hirschbach. Oh no. He's taking over where Trucker's coach and Tim left off at. He's the dancing cowboy over there now.
No, I don't know about all that now.
Jay Sean, never doing a broker load again. I never doing a broker load again. Broker said my appointment was 6 a.m. yesterday. Got there at 5:30 a.m. only for them to tell me my appointment was 12. You know what? That might be a little bit of the broker, might be a little bit of Schneider too. I had a few of those loads like that too. So even Mike Florida says, is he a gay cowboy too? I don't think he's a gay cowboy, but I think he's taken over where Coach and Tim left off though. I think you remember the movie Stripes with Bill Murray? Remember that movie where they were in the Army?
I think so. It's probably been.
Yeah, it's been a long. It was a 1980 movie.
It's been a long.
The fucking drill sergeant says,
I ain't that old now.
Yeah, the drill sergeant said, "Hey, are you guys homosexual?" It's like, nope, but we're willing to learn. And I was thinking of that with you, man. Yeah, you know, but you're willing to learn the gay cowboy shit. That movie's so fucking funny, man.
Nah, I'll pass on that.
So Justin says, grinding gears, getting FLD truck next week. I thought he already had an FLD truck. I could be wrong. I watch his channel pretty regularly, man. Since we had him on the channel with me and D, I actually find him kind of interesting. You ever watch him grinding gears? You need to check him out, man.
Nah,
He's pretty good, dude.
that's the Grand Gears. Was it the black guy?
Yeah. He used to be Texas Lone
The
Ranger.
guy. What?
He works for Landstar.
He had dreads or something? Didn't he have dreads?
Yep, that's him.
I think I've seen a couple of his videos.
Man, that guy's good, man. I like
I
watching
think I've
his
seen a
shit.
couple of his videos.
So Mike Florida says the dollar fuel smells fishy.
Uh,
What's up with that? Yeah, it is fishy because it if like at Swift, I don't pay for fuel over here basically because the fuel surcharge pays for all of it. I never understood how people would fall for that dollar fuel stuff. I've talked to many drivers about that in the past. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So Bull of Woods has said the most common line yet that I love. Lighten up, Francis. That's a line from Stripes when we were talking about it. That's a fact, Jack. So here's a new guy. James failed recruiting efforts. So, all right, James failed recruiting efforts. I appreciate that. I'm glad you found another black guy to replace 18, but this is boring. Same thing every show. Well, I appreciate your comment. James failed recruiting efforts. I love that. All right. Darian Mallard, does Swift haul hazmat loads? Very, very, very limited hazmat loads. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 hazmat loads the times that I've been over here, and that's it. James failed recruiting efforts. I love that.
I seen a few when I was there. A few hazmat loads here and there.
Mike Florida says, I quit too many jobs in the last few years, and it's hard to go somewhere when every company, Mike, that's the problem, dude. Every company lies. Every single company lies. I hate to say it, but Swift lies. They all lie, and that's just the way it is. But you know what? Let's just take care of you right now. All right. James failed efforts no longer on here. I don't want him in here. I know he can just go and create another one, whoever it is, but I don't give a shit. But yeah, you're right, man. All the companies lie, dude. They all do. Except for Hirschbach. If you're a gay cowboy, you can make it over there really well.
Well, I ain't making it there.
So I replaced one black guy for another black guy, according to him. That's so funny, man.
Oh, man.
Don't block the trolls. It's like feeding bears. Yeah, I know. I probably shouldn't have, but there just comes a point in time where I get tired of listening to this shit, man.
Yeah, he ain't got nothing better to do.
I just don't understand how grown men can't find something to do other than troll another guy's, efforts and channels and what he's trying to do. I never understood that. I mean, they used to do that to Trucker Todd all the time. They would create special troll accounts just to go and attack him. Never understood that. I'll be heading to Minnesota for a first time on Monday. Yeah, Minnesota's a decent state to run through.
Yeah, I was up there a few weeks ago.
Believe it or not, man, we got 36 people on here. Wow. Anybody got any comments? And please don't troll the channel. It's just not necessary. I don't know about you, man.
How many Volvos?
Huh?
How about the new Volvo Swift got? I mean, how many of them new Volvo Swift got?
I don't know that answer. I know they got quite a few.
Yeah.
They're sharp.
You checked one out? Did you?
Yeah, I've taken pictures I've taken inside and outside pictures. Yeah. It's a good looking truck. Very good looking truck.
Okay.
Mike says, I
It
thought about
looks
recruiting.
small.
Yeah. Uh, it's about the same size. I thought about recruiting once, but they told me I don't keep the truck clean enough. Okay. I don't know why they wouldn't let you recruit. Carry Me Please says, I'm a company driver, but I still like watching this. Yeah, I mean, Carry Me, I try to do the best I can. I try not to, you know, I try to be honest, and that's the problem that a lot of guys have. I show my failures and I show my successes, and I'm honest about everything. I don't I don't sugarcoat anything. Most are married to crazy ladies and come on here to say the stuff they're afraid to say to their wives. Yeah, I agree with you. So we got another one here that is going to be banned. Now they're starting to talk about my wife. That's weird. You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, you know. Yes.
Okay. Somebody somebody robbed my channel here and did something crazy. That's interesting. Why the hell did that do that? I just lost all my comments. Hang on a second. That is so weird. What's up, Army Kane? Yeah, I just lost all the comments. We still got 29 people on here. There was a load heading from Peterson, New Jersey to Reno, Nevada, 92 cents a mile. That's crazy. Where did all these comments go to?
Uh,
I think somebody just hijacked my channel here, buddy. Let me check
uh,
this out. Yeah, because something happened here crazy. Nobody has anything better to do than to do this stupid shit, you know? All right. So I'm going to have to read the comments a different way. There we go. Hold on a second, Jonah. All right. So
uh,
Nathan says it's crazy. I've already read that one. Mike says, I tried Crystal for a first time, but White Castle is absolutely better. 100% better. Mine showed up, and that's all that matters. Yep. I can tell you about JB. We can all tell you about JB. JB's a horrible company. Would you recommend JB Hunt or Landstar? I would not go to JB Hunt. I can tell you that. I don't know enough about Landstar. That would be an 18 wheels question. Check his channel out on Sunday. Truck and Shit Show. You can ask him because I don't know anything about
yeah, the
Landstar.
rates with JB. Yeah, the rates with JB Hunting start going down.
Darian says, I spoke with a recruiter named Carlos from the owner operator division of Swift. He told me to reach back out in November because I have one of my two 20-mile-per-hour tickets fall off my record. So, Darian, when that happens, get a hold of me first and let me put you with Michelle so I can make sure that you get the right truck that you want. I've got a lot of guys that are calling me wanting help. But unfortunately, when you reach out to another recruiter and you get stuck with another recruiter, I can't help you. But if you got to wait that long, you can get restarted with another recruiter. JB Hunt, JB Trailer Hunt. Okay. I don't know what that means. I want barbecue, but I can't find any good ones.
Be hunting for
So,
trailers.
yeah, Trailer Hunt. Oh, I got you. JB Trailer Hunt. Yeah. Mike, where are you looking at for good barbecue? Because I've got two of the best places in the country. One is in Jackson, Tennessee. It's about an hour and a half north on I 40, north of Memphis, Tennessee. It's a little tiny trailer. I don't even know what the name of it is, but they're right across the street from Love's in Jackson, Tennessee. That's one.
Well,
And then you got
I think it's 87, 87 barbecue.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Uh,
And then you got
yeah,
the
87.
barbecue
I
joint.
think it's an 87 barbecue.
Then you got the barbecue joint there just south of Atlanta. I forget what exit it is, but there's two pilots. There's a Love's
Oh,
and a
201.
TA. Is Yeah, 201. There's a barbecue joint right there
201. Rudy's.
next to the
Rudy's.
Rudy's barbecue. That's right. That's good shit too.
Rudy's, yeah. Rudy's, yeah. Oh yeah. I ate at both of them.
No problem, Darian. Yeah, get in touch with him, man, because I honestly don't have enough information. Job happens anonymous. I heard Michelle is afraid to commit to a show next week because she's afraid you'll have changed everyone. You know what? I don't know why, you guys want to come on here. She did not commit. She was going to come on the show last night. It was me that had something that came up. So we're going to take care of you right now, and you're getting banned. I feel like Oprah Winfrey here. Everybody's getting banned tonight. So Justin says, "Do you watch FSC Trucking?" No, I'm not familiar with them. And Gigolo Joe, Exit 87 Barbecue. That's correct. Gary Cook
Yeah,
says,
87 barbecue,
"I've
yeah.
been doing power only under JB Hunt. That's a mistake. Stay away and them horrible people." Gary, buddy, you can call me and I can give you everything you need to know about JB Hunt if that's where you're at. Uh, Mike Florida says, "I've tried that Arby's crap and it sucked." I got to tell you, the Arby's pulled pork wasn't that bad as long as you get the sweet barbecue sauce. Um, I was actually pretty impressed for Arby's. G.A. Sean, how is Hirschbach lease purchase? There you go, buddy.
Yeah, they so far so good. I mean, they got the 99-cent fuel. They got 99-cent fuel, but no surcharge. You don't get no fuel surcharge because the fuel's so low. And I get pretty decent miles. Um, I do a lot of Midwest stuff, and sometimes they try to send me to the Northeast, but I turn them down going to the Northeast because I don't like the Northeast. I go to Pennsylvania or whatever, or every now and then I might go to Jersey, but anything else, I don't run up there.
Not reading
But
that.
so far, I mean,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, but so far so good with it. I mean, they got some miles over here. You really run some miles or whatever.
Not reading that comment, Newman. Quit putting them up there. How is the Swift load board? Um, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Swift load board isn't where it needs to be. Um, I find it very good for me, but I stay in certain areas because I know where Swift's freight is, and I kind of got an idea of what they put on the load board. So for me, it hasn't been that bad. I've taken a lot of loads off the load board, but there's not a lot of loads on the load board. But they are eventually in September supposedly going to go strictly to the load board for the owner operators, and they're going to go to a 70% deal too. G80 Sean says, "Is it
I
true
think it's gonna get a
Hirschbach
little
has
better
dry
though
van?"
after a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, I think it's going to. He said, "Is it true Hirschbach has
Yes.
dry vans? Because I've seen a bunch of them at Dollar Tree in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Do you know anything about that?"
Uh, no, I mean I seen a couple drivers pulling some dry vans, but I hadn't got like no information and nothing about them yet. I said I was gonna start trying to find out about them. Cause I don't see like two or three trucks pulling dry vans. Um, and I said next time I see one, I was gonna stop and talk to them or call my recruiter and find out what the dry van what's the deal on dry vans. Cause I don't see my 4 or 5 trucks pulling dry vans unless they switching the dry vans now a little bit.
Who did you piss off? Piss off. I don't know what that means. Who did I piss off? Buddy, you know what? I've been getting hammered with these goofy James fake settlements and failed recruiting and all this. That's been going on for the last week and a half, ever since I put shit out about Swift, and it's okay. Dave Meyer Lundy, is the market load getting better? Um, I don't know, honestly. I mean, the people that I talk to say that it is, but um, I don't know because it doesn't affect me anymore with what I'm doing. Yeah, Newman, I must have pissed a lot of people off because stuff keeps popping up that way, and that's fine. I don't care. Newman says, just Swift haters, ignore the hate, make the sweet, sweet cash. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And, it doesn't matter. And again, like I said from the beginning, grown men want to come on here and play games. That's fine. They can play the games all they want to. Doesn't get them anywhere. You know, I guess they grew up with their mamas hating them or something. Or maybe their wife doesn't, take care of them or whatever. It's got to be something of that such that they want to come on here and just get on my channel and do shit like that. G80 Sean says, how often do you deliver to the stinky Smithfield Park pork plant? That's a question for you.
I go to Smithfield plant. I go to one like it's like hit and miss. Sometimes I might go to like two or three. Mostly go to like once or twice a week, maybe. Or sometimes I don't even go to. I'd be like a cold storage. I go to a Tyson plant. I go to. They'll switch it up here and there with our routes or whatever.
Army Kane said people getting sand in their
So,
clit on the internet. How shocking. Yeah, I agree with you, buddy. Everybody has a comment and an asshole. They're all the same. G.A. Sean says, I remember delivering to Smithfield. I had to pick up an empty trailer, but it was bloody and had pig intestines. That's funny. Twisted
oh
Hauler
man.
says, as a
Oh yeah, them
LP,
plants,
do
boy.
you have
I
a
was like, man.
as an LP, do you have a better chance of making better money doing dry van or reefer? Um, that's kind of a toss up. I don't do lease anymore. I know Joan is doing a lease, but when I did lease, it's been a long time since
You
I did
froze up.
reefer. You're always going to get paid just a little bit better on reefer, but the downfall to that is you're going to have a lot of time in the door. That's why they pay a little bit better. But when you really put down the numbers next to each other, I think you're probably about the same both ways around. Wouldn't you think? You're just working less hard as a reefer driver or
Yeah,
as a dry van.
yeah. I done been on both sides. I done did drive in lease purchases. I done did reefer. I'm doing reefer lease purchase now, and I guess it all depends on the driver too. Like if you like to run miles, run hard, you can make some money with drive in. And then like if you one of them drivers that run hard but like to take a little break, you can do reefer unit because you know you're gonna be down in that door.
Right.
But for us, the money part, yeah, like you say, it's about neck and neck. It all depends on how you make it.
Yeah,
It all depends on how that driver making it.
that's kind of what I thought too, with what I would think. I think when you put the numbers down together, I don't think there's really that much of a difference between the two.
Yeah,
Problem is, it's just which would you rather do? Would you rather sit in a door or would you rather run? I don't like sitting indoors. That's my big thing. I hated that. I
yeah,
hated that more than anything.
yeah. That's how I am. Yeah, and that's one thing I like about when I was with Swift. It was a lot of dropping hooks, and then I could drop a trailer 15, 20 minutes. I could be back there, drop a trailer hooked up to another trailer, sit my
Yep.
empty call and everything within like 20 minutes and be gone. And you go to somewhere, the Walmart or somewhere getting unloaded. Oh, you got to go check in, and you got to give you a door. You might have to wait on the door, and then you sitting in the door for at least 2 hours or better, or whatever. And then hope you got another load and hope you can drive there, or then you got to go find somewhere to park it. And then with reefers, only bad thing I don't like about reefers, you delivering late in the afternoons or early in the morning, or some between anywhere from six in the, at night to 6 in the morning. You trying to deliver something, and then now you got to go find somewhere to park it and hope you get a park or hope you got enough hours to make it somewhere. That's the only thing I don't
So
like about doing reefer.
Mike says, I always heard about lot lizards, but I've never seen one. I've only seen in the last 20 years, I think I've only seen maybe two. Um, and within the last 5 years, the internet is the way that they've gone to now. They don't really hustle the truck stops like they did years ago. So Kevin's got a question. Hey,
No,
Fly, do you think Swift is a good company for drivers' first-time lease purchase? Absolutely. I think it's probably one of the better
yeah,
places to start out at because the lease payments are
yeah.
cheap. I guarantee you can make money here as long as you run smart. If that's something you want to do, Kevin, please by all means get in touch with me and I'll put you with the recruiter. Uh, Twisted Holler, appreciate the answers, gentlemen. Stay safe. I just got approved for lease purchase at Swift, so they asked me to decide before orientation. Okay. If you're, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So if you're asking about reefer at Swift, I don't know if I would do reefer at Swift, to be honest with you. I,
I wouldn't do reefer Swift.
I wouldn't
Nah,
do reefer at Swift because they just don't have enough freight for that. I'd stay dry van
no.
Twisted. That's just
Yeah,
me
they got way
personally.
too a lot of driving freight.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to stay dry van with Swift. I thought you were talking about other companies. So Twisted's Army King says Twisted depends on the
Yeah,
company. I ran reefer at Swift and they couldn't keep me moving, but when I was driving, yep, that's exactly right, Army King. So
yeah.
G80 says I
And
prefer
then
dry
some of the
van
dry
because you
van
have a
freight,
better
some of the dry van freight is, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was about to say, some of the dry van, yeah, some of the dry van freight at Swift, like you go to the same people. Sometimes you might go to the same people over and over. So it's always good to have that little rhythm once you get over there, because you might go back to you might pick up and deliver at the same place. You just
Right.
delivered like last week. That's
Right.
one good thing about over there, like with the dry van freight.
So G80 Sean says he prefers dry van because you have a better percent drop and hook versus reefer. Absolutely. And Army Kane, he already
Oh
knows
yeah,
the hookup. Memphis loves has the lot lizards. I've heard that. Army Kane said, Twisted, do not do reefer at Swift. Agree. I don't know anybody that does reefer here, but I don't know if I would ever want to do reefer here either. I appreciate the help. Dry van it is. Thanks for going live. Helps ask questions. Hey, write my number down, Twisted. Feel free to give me a ring anytime you need help, buddy. I know you're coming over from company to lease, um, but feel free to give me a call. I'll help you out. Mike says, "What is good about Swift? How much can you make?" Um, if you're looking to be a millionaire, you're not going to be a millionaire here. If you're looking for steady work and steady money, and when I say steady, if you run the weeks that you're out, you could easily make $2,000 to $3,000 here. On the weeks that you go home, like me, for instance. Now, granted, I don't have a lease truck. I've got a truck that I pay for on my own. I went home for 4 days last week. I basically ran. I left the house on Sunday. I don't really count Sunday because I was going to pick up the load that I was getting. But I ran Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and closed everything out. I got 2 loads in and I grossed $2,700, which I know it's not a lot of money, but I was at home for 4 days, but I still took $1,200 home. So that kind of gives you an idea. Now, if you had a lease truck, take about $500 to $600 off of that, and that's what you would bring home. You'd still bring home a paycheck; it wouldn't be as good. You come out here and run, your
yeah.
6 days and do a 34 reset. You shouldn't have any problems making over $2,000 a week. But again, it's all about the clock and the time. You're not going to get rich over here. That's the thing. I can't be a millionaire because I'm black. Hey, buddy, anybody can be a millionaire. You just got to put it to yourself. Twisted says, any apps to download to help with cheap fuel? I was using FuelBook. Just wonder if you guys use anything different. FuelBook is number one. Then you want to download QT. I do a lot of fill ups at QT. Sheets
Yeah.
is another great place. And obviously get you an ES Advantage fuel card. If you need information on that, give me a ring and I'll help you out. If you go through and sign up with my guy, you'll get $50 for fuel and I'll get $50 for fuel. So if you want to give me a ring, I'll give you my guy's name and we can get you set up. But the ES Advantage card's a way to go. Um, and that's really your number one apps. A lot of people use Mudflap. I can never get Mudflap to work the way I wanted it to. I heard Mudflap. Yeah, Mike, I agree with you. I heard that too, but I've never got it to work. Walmart Way. Hey, fly rabbit. How are you today? I'm doing good, buddy. How are you today, man? I'm glad you're here, buddy. Fuel is pretty cheap in Wisconsin today. It was $2.93. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do $2.89 in Kentucky here, Elizabethtown, later in the morning. Um, yeah, Twisted Holler. Feel free to give me a ring, buddy. I'll be more than happy to help you out. My advice is free, and I'll tell you where to go and where to stay out of too. I'm I'm up on all that. Jonah knows too.
Yeah. Don't get no fuel in Pennsylvania. I know that.
Yeah. Wow. Newman says he paid $2.55 in Texas yesterday. That's pretty damn good.
Uh,
Fuel needs to go back down under $2 is what it needs to do.
yeah.
You need my number. There's my number, buddy. Give me a ring anytime, Twisted. I'll be driving most of the day tomorrow till about 1 p.m. I'll be driving through the night this morning. I'm going to start driving about 2 a.m. But you can call me anytime from 2 a.m. to 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon or so. I'll be driving. I hope you got that. Whoops. There we go. Wow, 36 people in here. So Newman says, I live in Pennsylvania. I always have to buy fuel there. Yeah, I would imagine you do every once in a while. Just maybe 50 gallons to get you somewhere else or something. 10-4, I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a call, buddy. I'll give you some tips.
Yeah, if you got your LC or something like that in your home state, they like to see you when you get fuel in your home state. That's what I heard. That's what a guy told me like some years ago.
I
But I
could
don't know
care
how
less
true the
what they
statement
like.
is.
I could care less what they like because
Yeah,
I hardly ever fuel up
yeah.
in Florida.
I pay.
All right, so we got
Yeah, I
another
fill
one.
up a little bit when I'm
James.
at home. That's just a quick trip.
So I'm gonna put this one up here. James is Swift's biggest mistake. Yes, I am. He spends all of his fuel going to new orientations. Boy, you are 100% right. You know what? I'm tired of blocking people. Just go on and keep rolling them in, buddy. All it does is help my channel. Keep doing it, buddy. Newman says, I always owe IFTA. Yeah, I do too, man. I buy the cheapest fuel that I can find. I'm not too worried about the IFTA part.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I be doing. Find the cheapest fuel. I got a quick trip not too far from my house. Oh, and they see me every time I get ready to leave out.
So Moet says, do you guys know any good food grade tanking company to sign a truck onto? That's way out of my realm. I don't know that answer at all, buddy.
Ah,
Matter of
me
fact,
neither.
the
I
only
don't
food
deal with
grade
tankers.
companies that I know of is Prime and what's that tanker company in Florida? We see there's Oakley. Oakley's the other one. They do a lot of orange juice stuff. Those are the
Oakley,
only two
yeah,
companies that I even know.
yeah,
So Army Kane
yeah,
says,
and
wrong. I got fuel in Pennsylvania. Just don't get it at Love's or TA. Remember the fuel taxes, 74 cents a gallon. So I usually get fuel to cover lower states like Texas. Yep, Oklahoma. My last quarter, I got back $170 from IFTA. Another state to fill up is in Ohio. Okay, I didn't know that. I was always told years ago never to get fuel in Indiana, and I've kind of stuck with that. And oh yeah, Bynum. I remember hearing about Bynum. I don't know if they hire on lease purchases or owner operator. Excuse me. Doesn't matter. I spend all my fuel going to the next orientation. Bynum starts at 55 cents. They are no-touch tanker. Okay, that's good to know. Newman, negative. Your IFTA is based on your mileage and not what each state charges. Indian River in Florida is a good food tank ranker. Okay, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. G80 Sean. I seen a whole bunch of premium Freightliners at Green Bay Yard. Got me thinking I should have gotten one. They got a lot of trucks there in Green Bay. When you were lease purchasing, did you remove the plastic from the seats or leave it for the next guy? Buddy, I took the plastic off and I farted on all the seats, dude. That's what I did. Walmart Way. Why do companies like Hirschbach run in and out of certain states but doesn't hire out of those states like Washington and Oregon? I mean, that's kind of Washington, Oregon, California, New York, New Jersey. Those states are states that have the AB5 bullshit, and that's why a lot of companies won't hire states with the AB5. Has nothing to do with them running in those states. They have that stupid law, and it's for truck drivers, lease purchase drivers, Uber drivers, Uber Eats drivers, all that stuff. At least Swift could see. You can't even spell right, whoever you are. Walmart Way is to do with the employment laws. Okay. Newman attack. That plastic comment was a sick burn. Give credit where credit is due. You know what? I gave him a sick burn by farting in the fucking seat, buddy. I don't want to burn the fucking plastic up and catch on fire. Laughing my ass off. James lives in the basement of his mom's house. He doesn't know what trucking is. Okay. I got you. The username, not rabbit. Yeah, I got what you were saying, buddy. Yeah, these guys get on here. They got nothing better to do, guys. It's just the way it is, man. Trolls, we have to deal with them. Man, these trolls are wild tonight. Yep, they sure are. They sure are. But you know what? It brings people to the channel, man. I love it. Keep bringing them. I'm gonna quit blocking you guys. So bring them on. Eventually, they'll get tired of doing it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I wonder, can I report them? No, can't report them on StreamYards. I'll have to do it from the other one. So here's another one. At least Swift could release the truck as new with only 20 miles on it. Yeah, they sure could. That's a good suggestion. We'll tell Michelle about that on Monday or Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. 58 minutes in, 33 people in here. So anybody got any big wins of the week? Did y'all do good with a certain load, or did you make a lot of money or anything? I have salve in my truck for that. Buddy, I bet you got salve in a lot of places, to be honest with you, the way you talk. Serious question. I've been doing company for 9 years. I heard there's a company called ATBS. Ever hear of them? Yeah, I would not use ATBS as your tax people. Just not a big fan of them. I'd find you a tax person close by to you that knows trucker taxes. Ranger FLA Rabbit, where's your truck at? You mean where's it leased on to? I got my truck leased on to Swift, if that's what you're asking. It's kind of crazy how Schneider does the lease purchase in a good way, though. I got no problems with SFI, other than the truck payments being a little bit on the higher end, but they're good trucks. I think there is a trucking company called ATBS too. There's ATS, Anderson Truck Services. That's where KO works at. Army Kane said he did 5,200 gross this week. That's pretty damn good. That's real good. Have a weekend load from OKC to New Jersey, $4,100. That's pretty good. Ranger. That's real good.
Oh yeah.
Walmart. Where you at, Ranger? By the way, where you leased onto? Walmart Way. Have you met Wildbeard Trucker who works at Hirschbach? I think he's asking you that. I've never met him personally.
No, I had never met him in person. But I passed him in Missouri like a about a month or so ago. I passed him on in Missouri one day, but I ain't met him in person and talked to him and nothing. And I've seen some of his videos.
He does a pretty good job on his videos.
Oh
Mike
yeah,
Florida says,
huh.
"How much do you pay in taxes as an owner?" Um, that's one thing I don't really go into. I don't even really go over my settlements. I have for the last 4 weeks just to kind of give people an idea of what you can make over here. If you want to talk about that type of stuff, you can always call me. I just don't talk about it on here. And if you get a great tax person and everything's done right, there should be very little money you should be paying into taxes, if that tells you anything. Twisted Holler says, "Tell the man in black to stop talking." Just kidding. Who does he work for and what is his name? By my name's Corey. Hey, Corey, nice to meet you, buddy. And that is Jonah, and he works for Hirschbach.
There's my
And Ranger says he grossed 7,400 this week. Got to tell us what. Got to tell us what company you're at, Ranger. That's good money. It's not like Western Express where it's zero down. You got to have some type of money to put down with SFI, but you can lease onto anywhere. Yep. Like I said, I had no issues with SFI, and if the shit hit the fan, I would have no problems going back to SFI and leasing another truck from them. Army Kane, sorry, I lied. 7,000 gross and 5,100 after expense. That's pretty damn good, buddy. That's really good. Ranger says, that's nice. I should be around the same, Army. That's awesome, guys. How many deadhead miles do you run? Last 3 weeks, I have run maybe 300 deadhead miles all 3 weeks combined. So I'm not running hardly any deadhead miles anymore. 39.98 miles all legal. That's hustling it right there, buddy. James Swift's biggest mistake. How many times has Rabbit worked for horseback? Um, I don't think I've ever worked for horseback this lifetime. No, I've never have. Funny though. Do, 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 do. 43 people in. Wow. Pretty good for a Friday night. I haven't seen my Pop Tart on here. Here's Midlife Trucker. Yours is at 2124, but that's a W2. Yeah, company driver, that's pretty damn good, buddy. Doesn't SFI, whoops, didn't SFI lease Kenworth at one point, I recall? Yeah, they still have some Kenworths, and there was talk about them bringing Kenworths back, but I haven't seen or heard anything about it now that, especially since I'm gone. I did mine in 3,300 miles. That's pretty good, Ranger. You got to still tell me where you're at, Ranger. You not said that yet. Walmart drivers net 35 to 4,500 biweekly. Gross is 110 to 120,000 first year. Yep. Running the wheels off the truck. Yep. I bet you were. The only thing, and again, the company driver side, I get it. I understand why guys go to Walmart. It's the stability, the money, and all that. But you kind of somewhat lose your freedom of where you want to go and what you want to do. You're limited. I went to the land of fruits and nuts. Yes, Walmart, but there's a lot of bullshit that comes with that. Walmart is a slave factory, and they ruin people's lives for profit during COVID. So I know Newman worked at Walmart at one time, and I'm pretty confident that Army Kane did too, if I remember correctly. So those guys know. Wow, it's already 8:30, man. Jeez, that's crazy. This day has flown by. Yep, 5 years, he says. Yep. Uh, that's why I chose Swift for my first lease purchase. They're a huge company with lots of customers, so I'm hoping it works. Buddy, you'll be just fine there, I promise you. You'll be just fine working here at Swift as an owner operator. I know you're going to call me tomorrow, and I'll give you the best advice that I have. Walmart way. Army Kane, all internet rumors, laid back, no micromanaging, no in-facing cameras. Okay. To be fair, I spent all my time in New England, the armpit of society. So Walmart way, just to let you know, Army Kane and Newman both worked at Walmart. So again, I know it's been a few years ago, so they're pretty familiar with the company too. So I finally I ripped a mud flap off about a week ago, and I've been riding with it off. And when I say mud flap, I ripped the hanger and everything off. And when I was home last weekend, I tried pulling the two bolts that hold the hangers on, and they were rusted so bad. I'm like, Jesus, I couldn't get them off with any tool that I had. So when I got to Love's tonight, I walked over to the shop and I said, "Hey guys, is there a way you guys can heat these up and get these off?" Dude, they took a power wrench and a hammer and they beat them right out within like 15 seconds. I couldn't have done it. They didn't even have to heat them, and they were rusted so bad they put a little bit of seize the day or seize that the lubricant shit, and they came right off. I put the mud flaps right on, so I got two new mud flaps on there now. Finally, thank God, man. I was
Okay.
waiting for the DOT to say something about that, but they never did. I can only go off my experience. Yeah, I got you, Walmart. Everybody has a different experience with everything. There's no reason to compare dick sizes or anything when it comes to shit. Midlife says he has to do the Hirschbach dance in front of his truck, needs a cowboy hat too. Talking about you, Jonah. Get us
Oh no,
started.
no, I can't do all that. I can't do all that.
Walmart, everything you said except for the camera was true. Micromanagement is the big reason why I left. Now I do understand that is different depending on the DC and the regions. I'm sure DC has a lot to do with it. That's like any company. Nathan says that's why I decided to lease my truck to Swift because they have enough freight to make decent money. Yes, sir. G80 Sean, how much did they charge you for the mud flaps? I bought mine off of eBay. I paid literally $40 for the mud flaps, and I think $65 or $70 for the hangers. And they didn't charge me shit to take those two boats off. I actually put the mud flaps on myself, but they didn't charge me anything. I gave the mechanic that did it, I gave him a $20 bill to. I said, go buy yourself lunch, and you've already saved me money. So that's what it did. Walmart was a great job once. That time has passed. I'm happier making less money. Yeah, that's kind of me too. I'm happier making less money too. Newman, what DC were you out of? Walmart way. Agree, Army Kane. We can cover our cameras. It's been good experience for me. The PTO is outstanding. 6047. They're all talking Walmart crap. Swift is the only company I would own or opt for, according to Garfin. Is that right, Garfin? Yeah. So now James the liar's on here. You're even lying in this video. You're still blocking people. You're the true gay cowboy. Yes, I am, buddy. Yes, I am. I'm the true gay cowboy. And you know what? I'm going to keep on blocking people when you keep bringing new things up. I don't give a shit. It's my channel. Somehow or another, we're doing something right. We got 40 people in here. Of course, 20 of them are probably trolls. Everybody's waiting for me to screw up and say something I shouldn't, but that's okay. I think we kept it pretty clean with a bunch of trolls, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Blessed is back. I've seen you before. Forgot Swift, forgot Schneider, forgot Hirschbach. Over at my company, we make real money, $13,000 gross. Well, awesome, Blessed. So what company are you with? He was out of 6030 Raymond. That that truthish. How Swift's reefer division? I know zero about Swift's reefer division. Absolutely zero. I have no intentions or no desire to ever do Swift at any company. Or I say Swift, but reefer at any company.
uh,
I'm the wrong person to ask for that. Which one is 6047? They're talking all the Walmart gibberish. Newman wants me to block him. Oh, man. James the liar. I'm definitely lying. I don't know why they would think that I'm lying. I haven't lied about anything. So how you like Hirschbach? How's the miles? Twist the Holler wants to know.
uh, shoot, I like it. I mean, to me, I like it. And the miles, I average like 25 to 3,000 miles a week. That's just on average. But I mean, I ain't even running hard. I mean, I run hard, but that's pretty decent. I mean, you can get more. Depends on how you run your clock. But yeah, you can get the miles over here.
Little dude from 63rd says, yeah, okay, blessed. You ain't grossing no dollar. You're trying to be like Josh. Okay. Garfin says, Swift was good to me. Ran Walmart dedicated in Mobley, Missouri. Never had an issue with Swift. Yeah, I've, I've had my issues with Swift, not lying. But my issues were, a lot of them were self-generated because of myself. The company itself, it's more, I have more issues with IEL, the leasing side, than I do with Swift, the company. But it's all about me though. I'm okay with what I'm doing. 13,000 says the little dude. Yeah, I don't know where that $13,000 number came from, blessed.
Yeah, that was the other
And
guy
I need to
commented
know
talking about
what
he made
company.
13.
I need to know what
Yeah.
company you're at. Your friend isn't talking enough. Don't put him in the corner. He said, I don't have you talking enough. I'm putting baby in the corner. Man, that's funny. I'm just reading your guys' comments. Just reading
That's
the
Swift
guys'
Walmart.
comments.
Swift
Huh?
Walmart, it ain't that bad. Like doing a Walmart dedicated, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Cause I did it one day when I was in out in Korea, Utah. I did it for like a week and a half up there, and it was pretty good. And then I did it in down in Texas. Where I was at? I don't tell. I can't remember which one I did in Texas, but I think it was Austin, not Austin. One of the ones in Texas we did, and I did pretty good with it. Um, I did pretty good with it. They wanted me to stay on it for a while, but I was like, look, I had to go home for home time. It was like right around Thanksgiving time, and then I had to go to a funeral. So I was like, man, I gotta go home
Hmm.
and
You still
whatnot.
got your contacts at Walmart?
Yeah. I think so. I think I still got them. Yeah, I think I still got the ones in Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I'm staying at
Yeah.
Swift, and I don't know who. I'm guessing you're asking the other guy on here if he's staying at Walmart, but yeah, I'm staying at Swift. I went to Walmart DC in Chino, California, just a couple days ago. Okay. Hustling backwards, 11,000 gross, 2,000 take home. I netted 3,000 this week, less miles. Okay, that's pretty good. And Ranger says in 3 months, 2 weeks, grossed 83,000. That's actually pretty good. We need to know what company you're at, Ranger. Give out the good news. Garland says it's gravy. Okay. I actually started at Grandview washing while working for Swift. Okay. Grandview, is that a Walmart DC, I guess? Little dude, probably with the Russians. Maybe. That kind of money, I mean, shit, you never know. They take most of the money away from you. Twisted Holler, I worked for Swift for 2 years, had no real issues except equipment. Went to Fleet Master in Roanoke, Virginia. Horrible experience. Decided to be coming back. We're glad to have you back, Twisted. Glad to get you back. Newman Attack says DC and Grandview, Washington. I have fat. Okay, yeah, you do have fat fingers, I'm sure. That's why you keep the salve near you too, for all them buttholes. Oh man. Sometimes I think these lives are just, fun for guys to listen to, while they're driving and stuff. Whether they listen to it live or whether they listen to a replay.
Uh,
So you can say buttholes, but I can't. This is bullshit. Well, I'm just repeating what you say. you're you're so fucking funny, man. That's the only reason I didn't boot you out of here. Oh man. It's been one of them lazy days today, man. Lazy days. Man, I only drove
yeah.
223 miles today, man.
So I did about 300 and I did a little over 300 because I was sitting out there to sit me a load because I was supposed to have went home this weekend, but I changed it to next weekend. So the load I delivered yesterday, that was my go home load. But I had changed it, so they had to find me something. I guess find me something. So I had to go to Mount Ivory, North Carolina, pick up a trailer from the drop yard and bring it back to the same place I just delivered to yesterday. So that's the only thing I did today. Went up to Mount Ivory, turned around and came back to Spartanburg, Walford, really, and delivered.
So Nathan says, I can't stand Walmart DC. They take too long. The last one said that I have to give them a minimum of 4 hours to unload, and that's ridiculous. Yes, I agree. And Jesus above all names. Yep, I'm driving and listening. Yeah, I had a feeling there's a lot of guys that do that. I do it too. Listen to a lot of replay shows. I try to catch Charlie and Jeff's show on replay because I can never catch them live for some reason. I've always got something going on
Uh,
Tuesdays. Midlife Trucker says, throw some stuff in just for the replay, folks. Say something outrageous. Yeah, you guys are starting to say some trouble. Does any driver truly like Walmart's? What the fuck was that? Something just beamed through here. Dolly down, disconnect, pull forward. Walmart would be an awesome if we could deadhead. Yep, I agree. Newman says, I just saw Cousin Eddie win a bag on Effingham. It's funny. I've seen what I thought was Cousin Eddie's win a bag on quite a few places. Ranger FLA, have my own number on the door running. Okay, so that's why you're doing so well. You got your own numbers. That's awesome, Ranger. Honestly, that's the way to go. I've thought about it many a times too, but just never did it. Walmart sucks unless you're dedicated. Yeah. I got to tell you, man, the more and more every year it gets closer and closer to that time where I say, hey, it might be the time for me to get my own numbers. The only thing that keeps me back is the insurance. That insurance
oh
is
yeah.
crazy. That and running the spot market again, I don't want to do it. I love delivering to Walmart's in and out in 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour tops. Left lane, baby. Midlife, I don't think anybody screws you over, do they? You just keep on rolling. I'm not saying that. You know, facetiously by any means. The company you work for, they get you in and get you out. Twisted Holler, James. I'll call you tomorrow. Have a blessed night. Stay safe, gentlemen. Absolutely, Twisted. Like I said, man, call me anytime. I'll be running till lunchtime or so, 1 o'clock. Be more than happy to talk with you, Twisted. Down to 30 people. We're gonna cut it off here in about 10 minutes, man. I got to get some sleep. I know you're delivering forklifts. They want to see me. Absolutely. Anybody. That's like me when I was the beer guy, man. All the other guys, the food guys and them, they would get put to the side, but not the beer guy. When I showed up, they were ready to take my stuff. G80 Sean, it'll be funny delivering to Walmart doing drop and hooks while the other drivers wait. You know, that's one thing that we do over here at Swift. Almost everything we do at a Walmart is drop and hook. Usually it's a
Yeah.
12:01 to 11:59. As long as you get it in that day, and it doesn't
Uh-huh.
matter when you get there. You go right around everybody, drop it, hook, and you're out the door before they can even do anything. Newman says he's delivered a lot of reefer to Walmart after I left Walmart. Was never kept more than 2 hours. They don't like paying detention. If they said 4 hours, your company or broker did that. Newman, I found this out from Swift, and I don't know about how true this is, but Walmart does not pay detention. Um, Swift pays the detention, and I was told this with F2F and quite a few companies that Walmart doesn't pay detention. Now, I'm sure it's on a case by case scenario, but at least with Swift, they don't pay them detention over because they're such a big carrier. But if I get there and I stay for longer than 4 hours or what the two actually it's 2 hours for us, Swift
Yeah.
automatically pays us the detention.
Yeah.
So Gigolo says Rabbit ain't parking at Love's Elizabethtown. Yeah, I won't be parking in Elizabethtown. I'm going to, I think it's a Speedway where I'm going to fill up at. When I start rolling here at 2 a.m., I'm rolling on down to Macon, Georgia's where I'm going. I won't be stopping. Garland says, after running sand and gravel, any OTR company sounds great. Yep,
Yeah. Where you going to Macon? Tractor Supply?
absolutely, buddy. Going to Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
I got, I got
Oh
till
yeah.
midnight Sunday to get this load there, man.
Oh yeah. I kind of
Uh,
figured you said you was going to Macon. I kind of figured you going to Tractor Supply.
oh yeah, oh yeah. It's easy, man. West Coast
Yeah.
Wally driver. Walmart is great if you drive for Walmart like me. Yeah, I would imagine Walmart is a decent company. If you're going to be a company driver, I think that would be the company to be at. Uh, Walmart pays detention. They don't pay contract carriers. Maybe that's what it is. But I know we don't get detention. Uh, I'm surprised Super Ego was getting unloaded at Walmart. Hmm. Whoops. That's how Cheeseman does it. The pay, the detention, and we don't worry about the rest. That's on the carrier. Yep, that's how Swift does it too. Macon is near where I live, closer to Jackson. So yeah, we were talking about Jackson earlier in the live with the barbecue place there next to the pilot.
Uh-huh.
What a good barbecue place, Rudy's.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, there's my phone number. Anybody else wants to
Yeah.
contact me for any reason, you want to find out about Swift, you want to come over, you want to find out about a Hirschbach, I'll put you in contact with Jonah. Um, any of the other guys that I've had on here in the past, if you got questions about any of those companies, let me know, and I'll put you with whoever you want to talk to. Mike Florida says, got more of that butthole stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys got to quit the butthole stuff. It pisses my wife off. It's so fucking funny, man. Midlife, Jonah won't dance. Now, Jonah's not going to dance. He might put a
Nah,
cowboy
no,
hat
no.
on, but he ain't going to dance.
Yeah, I might wear a cowboy hat, but I ain't doing no dance now.
we'll save the cowboy dancing for you, Midlife. Crazy if you blow a trailer, the tire, the Super Ego will put the cheapest tire they can to find on the trailer. Yeah, that's all companies though. Honestly, is she hot? You talking about my wife? My wife is obviously hot. That's why I'm married to her. Hell yeah, she's hot. Uh, we're hot old people. Let's put it that way. We she turned 50 today, but I will never tell her that. Good answer, says. Yeah, well, she is hot. I mean, she's always been. I've always been attracted to her. So Ranger says the barbecue in Jackson is trash. I might just be by if I find a place to park. Um, well, you know, you got Jackson, Georgia, and you got Jackson, Tennessee. Both of them. I like both of them. Uh, Route 87 barbecue in Jackson, Tennessee, and Rudy's in Jackson, Georgia. Garvin says, whoops. I'll be back with Swift in 2 months. I've worked for Swift 3 times. Uh, buddy, this is my fourth go around. I think I've got you beat. When I came in for the third time, they told me I was the only person that had been there 3 times. Now I know I'm the only person that's been here 4 times. I'm pretty confident
Yeah.
with that. You'll be happy here, Garvin. Yeah, that's correct. 4 times, buddy. I mean, and honestly, in all honesty, guys, that should tell you guys something. If I've come back to Swift 4 times, obviously there's a reason. You know, I've had my differences, but it is a good company. My wife is coming out with me as a passenger princess for a couple weeks. I may need to call the Pope for a blessing. So Mike wants to know, is she hot midlife? This will be my third go around. Okay. Yeah. I don't think you got me beat though, buddy. I'm at number 4. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody's got me beat. I don't think anybody's been to a company 4 times anywhere. So G80 Sean says, I had a guy come back to Schneider for the 5th time. Oh, there you go. 5th-time owner op. That's cool. Schneider's, and again, Schneider is not a bad company. My only issue was the issue with the PC, and that was it. Them fucking with me on the PC shit. I did everything exactly like they told me to, and I can't help it that their weekend night dispatch didn't drop the trailer off of my load. I can come 4 times. Yeah, I bet you can. There's always reasons why you left. Yeah, there's always reasons why you leave, buddy. Always. Um, but I can honestly tell you, the third time that I left, the only reason that I left Swift the third time was because I just had to go get an SFI truck and I had to go work them load boards. My last paycheck with Swift was $4,200 that week. And I asked myself when I left, why in the fuck am I doing this? Do you guys watch James? I try to catch James Best. He's kind of hit or miss with his stuff. He's hard to catch, and he deletes his shit almost as quickly as he puts it up. You left for a break from the road. Yeah, I left. I was training too, and that's why my check was so big. I just honestly just got tired of training. I felt like I was trapped into training. I felt like I was trapped into doing the Target dedicated account. And like I said, I needed to get an SFI truck and I needed to get the spot market load board shit out of my blood. And I got it out of my blood. I'm planning on staying at Swift 7 years and then I'm done with trucking completely after that point. Yeah, I got about 10 and I'm going to be done myself. I got a few things that I need to do along the way. I definitely want to get my house paid off, put me and my wife in a better position. I want to make sure my daughter, she's 13. I want to make sure she's off into whatever she's got going on in her life. And once my house is paid off, then me and my wife can decide, are we going to keep the house? We're going to sell it. We're going to live in it. Or are we going to, buy an RV or a bus and go on the road? So I don't know which way it's going to be, and that's too soon for me to know. The problem with James Best is the live goes 11 to 15 hours. That's the best part about it. What are you talking about? I love it when he goes that long. Gives me something to listen to. How many times will they keep taking people? You talking about here at Swift? Because honestly, I think this is my last go around. If I leave here, I don't think they'll bring me back. I'm pretty confident of that. But I don't really plan on leaving. I'm going to stick out the best way that I can and try to deal with as much bullshit I can. But, everybody has a pushing point. But I never really had that pushing point before here. It was more me than it was Swift. If anybody's been following me for any length of time, they know that I don't really put up with a lot of shit. And sometimes some of my decisions aren't the best decisions, but they are my decisions. If you had to leave, where would you go? I got a couple backup plans. I was looking before I came here. I was looking at Voyager Nation. It's a Florida company. They have a lot of good things on YouTube. And again, you can only hear what you read. Um, Me and 18 Wheels talked about him. He went in and sat down and talked with him. He was looking at him very seriously for a while. Um, that was one of my top companies, and then from there, I don't really know where I would go to other than that. Garvin says 5 years total with Swift and 13 with SRT. Covenant bought SRT out. The original SRT owners is JIT. Okay. I didn't know Covenant bought SRT. That's interesting.
Yeah, they bought them out like a few years ago. It's been a while ago when they
Yeah.
bought them out.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Midlife. I don't ever see myself at Landstar. And to be flat honest with you guys, I don't know if I'll ever go back to the spot market crap again. I'm much happier doing what I'm doing, and I say having control because I really don't have control because the dispatchers give you what you want. Now, if Swift comes up with this load board and it ends up being really, really good, I could live on the Swift load board and never really have to deal with dispatchers. But um, we're just going to have to wait and see, guys. You just never know with me. I'm very unpredictable. 5 years ago, I think. Okay, that's when they bought them out. Nathan says, I own everything that I have. I live in a fifth wheel travel trailer on my 5 acres in the mountains. I like living simple. Buddy, Nathan, and it's funny because I've talked about it before. I've got a very expensive house payment. We just got it last year. And the more and more me and my wife talk, um, we're at the point of our lives where we hate people, and we were both public service law enforcement for she had about 15 years in, I had almost 20, and we just got to the point where we just don't like dealing with people, and I'm to that way now still. This is why I love truck driving so much, because you really don't deal with a whole lot of people. My two shits and gives a fucks, I don't have a whole lot of anymore, and I've lost them. SRT had a yard next to Swift at Lancaster. Okay. I did not know that. I've been to that Swift yard many a times
Uh,
in Lancaster. 65% of contract freight plus fuel discount will best 80% of spot market freight. Okay. How much is a house in Florida? Uh, my house was listed at 385. We didn't pay that. I can tell you that. We got a great deal on our house, but average house about 350 to 400,000 in Florida for your average home. Garvin says just in time trucking is like they were SRT years ago. You just want get any loads less than 1,300 miles. SRT was a good company years ago. Just in time trucking. I've never heard of them. Another company,
yeah.
somebody asked me here, which company would I look at? I was always kind of interested in the Roadrunner model too, the Roadrunner trucking. Trucker Todd was
Yeah.
there and he told me about them. They run from terminal to terminal basically. It's kind of uh, like a LTL carrier does. I wouldn't mind looking into them, seeing how they run. I don't think they hire in Florida though. Yeah, people duck. You're absolutely right. Just trucking maker load. Just trucking maker load. I don't know what that means. Just trucking maker load. Welcome back home, cheesecake. So you really think people are trolling you? Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know why, honestly, because it ain't got nothing to do with them. It doesn't affect their life. Doesn't affect anything going on in their life. Um, so yeah, they are trolling me. People suck. Absolutely. Just like that last comment. Welcome back home, cheesecake. Midlife. I don't like people. That's why I use self checkout. Buddy, I use self everything. McDonald's. My order is always right when I do my own ordering at McDonald's. Because my order is always wrong at McDonald's anytime I use the cashier. Not anymore. It's one of the best things that ever happened. I got to tell you, I like all that stuff, but the one thing that's kind of scaring me more than anything is becoming more and more prevalent is AI. AI is everywhere now, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, and it's really just gotten really big in the last couple of years. everywhere. How can you afford a house in Florida at Swift? This Negro can do the math. Um, well, it's not easy, brother. It's not easy. I don't do bad here, Mike. You can say what you want to about Swift. I don't do bad. I mean, I bring home, you know, 9 to 13, 14,000 a month here, and I've got no problems doing that. And that's me bringing home that money, not gross. I don't know where you're at, Mike, but I don't do bad over here.
When you get Michelle on Monday, we got to figure out what the difference between Knight and Swift is. That's what I want to know. That
They're just ran as two separate companies. Panama
I
City.
thought like far as like the freight wise and
That's a
everything.
good question. We'll have to ask her that. We'll have to remind me, and I'll ask her on the live.
Yeah,
IEL services both Knight and Swift. You know that with their lease trucks and shit.
I did. I wanted to know. It was a couple of questions I wanted to ask, and
Hmm.
that was one of the ones that and they freight. And I mean, since they owned by the same person, do they is they lease the same as Swift lease, and what's the difference? That's what I
Well,
was
they're
going to
not.
ask.
Here's the thing: they're not owned by the same people. They have a
I mean,
partnership. It's more of a partnership.
oh, okay, partnership.
Swift is
Oh,
still
okay,
owned by Swift. Knight is still owned by
Swift
Knight.
and
They're
that's
just
all about that.
partnered together,
Okay.
and they bought
Oh, okay.
companies along the way like U.S. Express and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys know your cost per mile? Of course. I mean, you have to know your cost per mile. I don't know where you're getting at with that. I don't, guys. I don't really talk numbers on here. I never have, but I have the
Uh,
last 4 weeks that I've come back to Swift just to show you guys you can make money over here. I've gone over my numbers. I've told you what my numbers are. I'm not going to break everything down. There's no reason for that. I don't. It's not me. Moet says some people don't just. Oh yeah, okay, I got you, buddy. Yeah, I know my numbers. I know exactly where I need to be. I I bring home to me to my company between $1 and $1.05, $1.10 at the most a mile is what I do. Just depends on fuel, obviously terrain and all that shit. But that's about my average, and that's after I pay Swift what I need to pay Swift and my fuel and everything. Mike wants to know what is your cost per mile. I just kind of said what I make a mile. You can kind of figure it out that way. My truck and insurance is about 15 to 20 cents a mile. Um, Fuel is between 36 and 40, depending on fuel mileage and terrain and all that. I've never seen an owner op for Swift in an old truck or bald tires. Yep. I think my truck might be one of the oldest trucks in there, 2019, and I can honestly tell you mine's the only one with an A26 because it's an old prime truck.
yeah, I think they got a few guys that got them Columbias that be in Dallas. It's like two or three guys in Dallas. They think they got like 16, 17 Columbias
Wow.
that paid off. Yeah, it's like two guys. It's like two guys that run out of Dallas. Yeah, all they do is run from Dallas to Atlanta and back. That's all. That's all they do. Or go from Dallas to Laredo and back.
So
They drive
according
a
to
blue
Midlife,
Volvo. They don't eat the Volvos.
Midlife says Night Swift US Express is now one company. Run as three. They have a single stock symbol now. Okay, they must have changed that in the last year. Maybe when they bought over US Express, but when I was here before, they ran them both as separate companies. I did not know that. That's probably why there's all their emblems look the same now too, with that shield.
Yeah.
Because US Express runs in that shield too.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Nathan
Yeah, cause
says,
they changing all their trucks now. Yeah.
yep. Nathan says, you having your own truck leased to Swift helped me decide to lease my truck on with Swift. I'm happy that I made that decision. Yeah, having your own truck here, it is a big advantage. Um, Not only
Oh
do
yeah.
you get the advantages, you can and honestly, guys, this is something I wanted to talk about too, and I'll bring that up in just a second. You can use Swift to your advantage for tires. The shop, your shop rates are $80 an hour compared to 160 or whatever it is at Love's or other places. You can use
Yeah.
their shop. You can use anything. I blew out that tire last week, and I never really went into a whole lot of detail about that. And got the bill for it because Swift paid for it, and they're just going to take it out of my paycheck, obviously. Swift paid for it, and they said it was going to be a little bit over 700. It was like $680 is what it was. When I got the bill on the RO will come out this coming week, it was $378 for the tire installation and everything. So about half price, and it was a good year. That's not bad,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, cause use their tire account. Yeah, that's one thing I like about use the tire account.
Yep. So that's a good thing, guys. Let's see here. Flying Patty says those Columbias are probably gliders. That's a possibility. But just to give you a heads up, Flying Patty, there are a couple of these guys that still have those Columbias from years and years ago. And they've just kept them leased on because once you come in
Yeah.
with your truck, you're kind of grandfathered in as long as it'll pass an inspection because they say it has to be a 2018 or newer truck, I think is the year, or 17, I don't remember. But once you bring it in, it's grandfathered in as long as it passes inspection. Gregory Spears, yes, you can make money when they give you the miles, but when the driver leaders starve you out, the planners don't want to give you anything on the weekends. It's not a good week after that. Buddy, that's exactly right. And I'm talking to another guy about that right now. You got to be a tiger in this business with these planners
Yeah.
and your
No.
OOC. If you don't have a driver leader that's not running you and not keeping you busy, then guess what? You need to be calling rapid response and getting you another
Uh
driver
huh.
leader or going to a different terminal.
Yep. Or get
Same
in good
thing
with
I
the
told
driver
a guy
leader,
today.
then yep, you can get in with good with the driver leader, and then like what I was doing, I was there. I was going directly. I had a number to directly to the load planner, like each little area. I go in there and talk directly to the load planner, and if I'm in Dallas, I go in there and talk to a load planner, and I'm standing at his desk looking at the screen with him. Me and him looking at the screen like I work in the office with him. That's how good I got to know the people. Um, when I was there. And well, if I'm in Atlanta, between Dallas, Atlanta, and Ocala, I was so good with the people there that I could go in there and sit at their desk beside them and look at all the loads they got on the load board. I mean, what they got
That's what
in the
I do
area, I can
too.
go pick up.
That's what I do too. I go in and talk to him.
Yeah,
I might come. Mike says I might come over, but I need to hurry because I owe a lot of taxes. Yeah, come on over, Mike. Get in touch with me, buddy. Here, I'll put my number up again. Give me a call, Mike. I'll be more than happy to help you out and get you with the right person, dude. I'll get you with the right recruiter. I'll help you out as much as I possibly can and try to give you some advice. Mark Ely, what's up, everyone? Hey, Mark, how are you? How's DB Shanker going for you, or USA, whichever way you want to talk about it? Hope things are well for you, bud. Check the catwalk of your truck. Prime truck usually have jump. Yep, mine has jump post in the back. Yeah, it sure does. Mike says, "What is a driver?" Well, driver leader is your I guess dispatcher. He doesn't really dispatch, but he's your dispatcher, your person of
yeah,
contact. They call them owner
yeah.
operator consultants. OOCs is what they call them. Driver leaders for company drivers. Garfin says, I'm company. Way I understand, owner operator for Swift. The first 3 days paid for equipment and fuel, etc. The remaining 4 days went to the ride. You know what? That's a good scenario,
Right.
but
Yeah,
just flip those numbers around. Your first 4 days, if you're leasing a truck, your first 4 days is what you're paying for your expenses. The last 2.5, 3 days is what you're getting for yourself. Now, with you owning your own truck like I do, I mean, literally, dude, the first maybe one day, 2 days, at max. The rest is all my money because the only thing that I really have to pay for at Swift is whatever fuel I use. And again, I use my own fuel card on occasions too. But if I use their card strictly, then the first 2 days is for fuel and the fixed cost that I have with Swift, which isn't but like $75. But yeah, your scenario is pretty right on. Building and maintaining relationships is the key in this racket. Absolutely, flying, 100%. I still got contacts from day one over here, and I've kept ever since I left. Did you buy directly from Prime? No, Ranger. I bought from the International dealership in Tampa. Of course, they have locations all across the country. If you're looking to buy a truck, you need to give my guy a call. You can go back and check a couple of lives ago. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had Austin on. If you need, contact me. I'll put you in contact with Austin. Buying a truck through him is so easy, and he can get just about anybody done. Out of the 9 people I've sent to him, only one person didn't get financed, and it was because of his own situation. Actually, two, excuse me, 2 people out of 9 people. Garfin's give me thumbs up. Ranger says, I have my own truck. I have my own truck. Just curious. Yeah, Ranger, that's it. Heard Prime has solid tricks. Not so sure what that means.
They must start saying Prime must have got solid trucks or whatever, I guess.
Oh, solid trucks. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy, I got to tell you, I'm pretty happy. The only complaint that I have about my truck, and I've already told Austin my complaint, he needs to talk to his higher ups. They should not put recap tires on these trucks. And he told me directly that that's what Prime does. Prime puts them on, they just put them in their fleet. And I said, well, you need to talk to your boss, maybe charge a little bit more money for the trucks and put brand new virgin tires on here because a new contractor like me just getting started. Guys, when I tell you I put every nickel I had into this truck to get it, I did. I literally put every nickel in. And I've said it many times on here. I borrowed money from 18 just to get this truck. Not a lot of money, but a little bit. I had to borrow from him just to get into this truck. I put everything that I had that I knew that I could get a hold of to get into this truck. And same thing for all you guys. Whatever you got to do to get into your own truck, by all means, do it, guys. It'll be so much better for you all. And I'm finally getting at that point now after about 3 months to where it's getting a little bit more comfortable. Mike says, the tax man is mean to you. He can be. Flying Patty, I bought my first truck from Prime's pedigreed sales. Good to deal with. Connected to all the issues I had before signing. Yep. I've heard good things about them. And the truck itself is very solid. I'm very happy with it. Flying Patty said Prime had all new Michelins on mine. You got lucky, buddy. You got lucky. And again, that could be Austin telling me something. Maybe he doesn't even know. I'm going by with what he told me. Newman attack. I will never be a company driver again. Buddy, I hope that I can say that too. I don't ever want to be a company driver again. I like my freedom too much of doing what I like to do and when I do. When I want to go home, I don't care where I'm at in the country. If I want to go home, I drive the truck home and I go home. Just like last week. Last load I had was in Charlotte. I needed to be home on Thursday. My driver leader called and said, why don't you get another load to hit you home? Because I don't want to take the time to sit in the dock and take a chance of something screwing up. I have to be home on Thursday because when I came back over, one of Swift's things was I had to get my driver's license, my new address on my driver's license. They were going to put me on safety hold if I didn't get it done within 30 days. And I had you know how it is with the DMVs. I had an appointment set up for Friday. I had to be home Thursday. Plus, I had my daughter's birthday. So there was no way around it. I deadheaded all the way home from Charlotte. And that's one of the reasons why, my fixed costs were so high last week. Why I didn't bring as much money home as I should have. I should have brought home another $300 more than what I did, but I had to use the fuel to get there.
Well, usually my neck of the woods almost when you came down 77.
Yep, I did go down 77. If I can't
Yeah.
drive, I'll rob a bank with a toy gun and just go to prison. Yeah, don't do that. Then you'll get the FBI involved, buddy. Any bank robbers requires FBI investigation. Just to let you guys know. If you're gonna rob something, rob a casino or something like that, and that way the FBI doesn't have to get involved. Flying Patty says only company position I would consider would be Walmart, and only for the money and benefits. I would consider Walmart too if the timing was right, but that would be it. I mean, I got to tell you, I looked very hard at Oakley, and we've talked about this earlier in the beginning. I looked very hard at them. Their pay was good. I couldn't find anything negative about them. Newman says, fine with me. 3 hot in a cot. Well, you go right ahead, brother. 3 hot in a cot, but you won't be able to take your salve in with you, buddy. You might be feeling some other buttholes you might not like. Ranger says 90% of bank robberies go unsolved. Yes, they do. That is correct. That's because the FBI is investigating them. Bank robberies are very hard to go after. Yeah, watching this guy back in over here. I'm at this Love's and I'm in the very front spot, and the road is literally 10 feet away from me, and I'm watching all these trucks go to the truck stop across the street. It's not really a truck stop, it's a Thornton's, but kind of a truck stop. Anyway, just watching. That's what I'm keep looking at. It's getting dark here too now, really dark.
Yeah, it's dark here.
Uh, Ranger
Walking the
says, I'll just act like you didn't just write that. Newman says, you're assuming I won't like them. Well, yeah, you know what, buddy? Like I said from the beginning in the movie Stripes, are you guys homosexuals? No, but we're willing to learn. Leave that at you, buddy. Nathan says, my truck is prior fleet. It came from Central Oregon Truck Company. I bought mostly because of the 10-speed manual. I'm done with automatic. But Nathan, I got to tell you, I looked at those Lone Mountain Central Oregon trucks. I would have no problems with one of those trucks. That color green is awesome. And honestly, it would really, really look good with my logos and decals. I like those color trucks. 90% bank go unsolved. We've already read that. Where am I at? Fine Patty Newman will become a fifth wheel. That's funny. I'm a company driver with Cheeseman until retirement. Never say never, buddy. I've learned that in the past. Midlife. If you rob a bank, you'll do 10 years. I'll just take out a mortgage. It's 30. Follow me for the more financial tips. 2 convicts, 1 Newman. Oh, man. If you rob a bank, you'll do 10 years. If you take out a mortgage, it's 30. Follow me. Yeah, that's funny, man. That's funny. All right, guys, we're almost to 2 hours here. Anybody got any last things they want to put up? I've already went over about 20 minutes longer than I said I wanted to. I actually have fun doing these, guys. I appreciate you guys coming in, even the trolls. I mean, you guys make it exciting. It's the only reason we go on here and do this for 2 hours is because of you guys. I like having Joan on here. I need to quit putting Joan in the corner, though. Lone Mountain, Fort Worth is where I bought. Good guess. Yep. I've seen those trucks. They've actually got one in Georgia, too, and Iowa. I've seen them. I love the Central Oregon trucks. Good trucks. Midlife wannabe friends think we can make something happen. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Nathan, give me a call tomorrow, buddy. I think you were one of them that were wanting to call me about coming back. Flying Patty says, take it easy. Going to try and make it to Iowa 80 tonight. You be safe, Flying Patty. I'm getting off here, too, real soon. I want to be friends. You guys be safe. Catch y'all later. Hey, have a good time there. Is it Garfin? I hope I'm saying that right. Garfin. You be safe. All right, Jonah. I guess we'll call it, buddy. You have
All right.
you have a good night, man. I'll talk to you the next time, brother.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the show for Monday. I'm gonna watch it. I got a couple of questions for Michelle.
Yep.
So,
You have a good night too,
uh,
midlife. Good night, Nathan.
all right.
All right. I'll talk to you, buddy. You have a good night,
All right.
brother.
All right. Now you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Mike,
So what
don't
now?
go yet. All right. I'm still here, Mike. What you got? You can go ahead and go, Jonah. I'll see what Mike wants.
All right.
Have a good night, buddy.
All right. Now you too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Mike, put your comment up. What you got going on, brother? Let's discuss the calipate. Coach Rabbit, yeah, I got your coach. Let's discuss. I don't know what you're asking there, Mike, buddy. I was assaulted by a Muslim for helping a woman. I don't know where you're going to with this, Mike. All right, Mike, I'm going to put my number up, buddy. Feel free to give me a call if you want to talk about something. I don't want to go somewhere where we don't need to go if that's what's going on. Scary shit opens your eyes. Okay. I'll be up for another hour if you want to give me a call, Mike. Next live will be Monday at 7. I'll have Michelle on with me from Swift Owner Operator Leasing. You're bored as fuck. Well, I got to get some sleep, Mike. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk next time. Y'all have a good night. Bye, guys.